Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Real English with Arash. Today we are going to learn some vocabularies about politics. When we want to talk about politics, we need to know some words. Okay, then we can use those words. Okay, I provided some examples for you, but before the examples, I try to define each word for you. Okay. So the first one is suppression. Okay. Suppression. Suppression. Okay. The act of forcefully stopping people from expressing their opinions, rights, or actions. Okay. For example, the suppression of protests in Iran has included arrest and internet shutdown. Okay, next one, oppression, oppression, oppression. Okay, long-term unfair treatment and control of a group by those in power. Okay, for example, many Iranians feel they are living under oppression with limited freedom and constant fear. Okay, next one is oligarchy, oligarchy, oligarchy. Okay, it means a system where a small, powerful group controls the government or economy. Okay, for example, some critics describe Iran's political system as an oligarchy controlled by elites. Next one, critic, critique. Sorry, the pronunciation is critique, critique. Okay, it means a careful judgment or analysis that points out problems or weaknesses. Okay, for example, activists offer a strong critique of government violence during the protests. Okay. Uh, Next one, begging for help. Okay, begging for help, begging for help. It means asking urgently and desperately for assistance. Okay, for help. Families of prisoners were begging for help from the international community. Next one is uh, slaughter, slaughter, slaughter. The violent killing of many people in a brutal way. Okay, so human rights groups warned of a possible slaughter of civilians during the crackdown. Okay, uh, next one is despot, a ruler who has absolute power and uses it cruelly. Okay, for example, protesters accuse the leader of acting like a despot rather than a servant of the people. Okay. Next one, tyrannical, tyrannical, tyrannical. It means extremely cruel and unfair, especially in the use of power. Okay. So in Iran, many citizens describe the laws as tyrannical and designed to control society. Okay. Next one, dignity, dignity, dignity. A sense of self-respect and worth that every human deserves. Okay. For example, the protests are about freedom, justice, and human dignity. The next word is rebels. 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 Rebels means people who resist or fight against authority or government control. Okay? Government labor protesters as rebels to justify harsh punishments. The Iranian government labeled protesters as rebels to justify harsh punishments. Next one, terrorist. 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 A person who uses violence to create fear for political purposes. For example, some peaceful protesters were unfairly called terrorists by state media. Uh, as you know, in Iran, protesters are peaceful, but they were unfairly called terrorists by media in Iran. Okay. Uh, Next one, cruel dictator. Uh, cruel dictator. Cruel dictator. A ruler who has total power and uses violence or fear to control people. Okay. Many Iranians believe they are ruled by a cruel dictator who ignores human life. They believe that the supreme leader is a cruel dictator. Next one, unfair silence of activists. Unfair silence of activists. Unfair silence of activists. It means the forced prevention of activists from speaking or being heard. Okay, the unfair silence of activists has increased after mass arrests and censorship. Next one is flawless civilians. Flawless civilians. Flawless civilians. It means completely innocent people who have done nothing wrong. Okay. For example, in Iran, flawless civilians, including teenagers, were harmed during the protests. Okay. And the last one, people of interest. People of interest. People of interest. Individuals closely watched or targeted by authorities. Okay. Journalists and student leaders became people of interest for security forces. Okay. I hope these expressions and words are useful for you and you can talk about politics or your government uh, uh, and use these words and expressions. Um, I hope we can see peace across the universe. See you next time. Bye bye.